On October 17th, 1956, in a small chess tournament in New York City, a move was played that made headlines across the chess world. The player who made the move was a 13-year-old boy. The game took place in the Marshall Chess Club in Lower Manhattan. 12 players were assembled to compete against one another. 11 were well known to the tournament circuit, some of the best players in the United States. The 12th player was Bobby Fischer, and this was to be his first tournament. Fischer was one of the premier up-and-comers in the chess world. With an IQ exceeding Einstein's, and a memory said to store all the chess games played in the last 100 years, he was expected to perform well. That said, no one could have predicted he would pull off one of the most innovative combinations in chess history. Bobby's opponent, playing white, was the 26-year-old Donald Byrne. Byrne, who would eventually go on to be a ranked international master, had a reputation for his aggressive no-draw play. But how would he take on a genius half his age? The game began unremarkably. Donald opened with knight to f3, Bobby mirrors with his own knight. After 5 moves, the two players reached a textbook Grunfeld defense, 3 knights variation. Here, Donald brings forth his queen, and Bobby draws it out further with a pawn as bait. Is this the beginning of Bobby's plan? Byrne, characteristically aggressive, refuses to sacrifice tempo for a castle. Byrne pushes the attack with his queen, and Bobby pins Byrne's knight. Moving the knight would expose the more valuable rook to be captured. Byrne ignores his pinned knight in order to pin Black's knight, but it's a weak pin. It prevents Bobby from developing a pawn structure, as that would expose the queen, but it does not put any valuable pieces in immediate danger. Here, Bobby responds with one of the greatest strategic moves in chess history, knight to a4. This seemingly innocuous move ends up unraveling Byrne's entire defensive structure. The purpose of the move is to weaken the integrity of Byrne's central pawn fortifications and to expose attack lines to the unprotected king. Many chess analysts have investigated alternative strategies Byrne could have pursued after this amazing move. Can he prevent his pawn structure from being compromised? Can he bolster his central position to mitigate the damage? Or can he castle to protect his king? The result time and time again is that once Bobby's trap is sprung, Byrne's downfall is imminent. Byrne is not yet aware of his unavoidable demise, however, so he continues to fight for a victory. He does not want to be attacked on both sides of the board, so he brings his queen back to defend against Bobby's knight. Bobby continues with his plan to weaken White's pawns, and Byrne fights back as much as possible. Here, Bobby does the unthinkable. He ignores the threat to his most valuable piece in order to further develop his strategy. Byrne cannot pass up the opportunity to take Black's queen, and Bobby is able to begin an assault against the White king. White is in a downward spiral to mate. Bobby slowly consumes white pieces and eventually walks the white king across the board to checkmate. Bobby Fischer would go on to become one of the greatest chess champions to ever live. His play would continue to be defined by his unorthodox strategy and out-of-the-book moves. Now he is a household name, even outside the world of chess. But his legendary story, which became larger than life, began with a single move played by a young boy in a small tournament. Knight to A4.